Questions that I'm going to give you are simplify. So I'm going to give you a couple rationals, then I'm going to give you some set. Rational set, rational set. So simplify is the first one, and it's going to be 30x squared plus 15x over x minus 3 divided by 2x squared, no, 2x cubed plus x squared over x squared minus 3x. That's number one. Then number two, n over 2n plus 1 minus 4 over 2n. Try those two out. The first one, the top, because it's division, I go to every numerator, every denominator, DCF difference of squares, right? Make sure your phones are away. So I can take a 3 and an x out, and I can put them in their own brackets. And then I'm left with x. Actually, I can take out more than 3. Let's check that. So I can take out a 5 and an x. I can take out a 15 and an x. See, the 3 and the 5 should have put together as 15 in my head, but it didn't. So we're here. 15 and an x, and we're left with 2x plus 1. I would have got there eventually. I would take out my 3, then I would take out my 5, then I would have got to my 15. So it would have been fine. I just would have had double steps. X minus 3. And then times, they flip, so I get an x and an x minus 3. And then I can take out an x squared, and I'm left with 2x plus 1. Now remember, with NPVs, you have to state it for this, and this, correct? Everything but the top left. So x can't equal 0 from this one, 0 from this one, 3 from this one, 3 from this one, and negative a half. So I have to have 0, 3, negative a half. Please make sure if you're still struggling with NPVs, you ask, because that was probably the worst thing that was done on a lot of the people's work. Wasn't even just the math, it was the NPVs, wrong signs and stuff. Okay, then, once I have my NPV stated, I can draw a full line across. X minus 3's cancel. This x takes off one of these. This x takes off the other one. 2x plus 1's cancel. And I'm left with 15 over 1. Do I have to write the 1 if it's in the denominator? No. Do I have to write the 1 if it's in the numerator? Yes. So it's going to be 15. X can't equal 0, 3, negative a half. Okay, the next one, we have a binomial, 2n plus 1, I can't take anything out of it, a monomial of 2n. So I'm going to have to multiply this one by 2n, because monomials can't be made to be binomials, and binomials can be made to be monomials, so you have to multiply by each other. So I'm going to get an equal sign on the left. The only time I'm not going to get an equal sign on the left is if and only if it's a solving question with an equal sign already in it. So I'm going to get a 6n squared over 2n plus 1. Do I ever distribute my denominator? No, unless it's a monomial, unless it's like 16x squared y squared z, then I would just put them together. Now here I'm going to get 8n plus 4 over 2n plus 1. Then I have to remember with subtraction, which you'll have tomorrow. You're going to get a subtraction where you have to do this. You have to remember to subtract both of them. So I get 6n squared minus 8n minus 4 over 2n plus 1. N can't equal 0 or negative a half. Okay, for number 3, what we're going to do is a Venn diagram. So I'm going to give you this information. You're writing it down. So Shannon's high school starts a campaign to encourage students to use green transportation. The class has 750 students. The school. Classes. 750 students. I'm writing in the shortest form because I'm being lazy. Okay, of the 750 students, 370 bus. 100 cycle and bus. 80 walk and bus. 35 walk and cycle. 20 walk, cycle, and bus. 445 cycle or bus. 265 walk or cycle. How many students do not use green transportation? All three of these are green transportation. So it would be 1 mark for the Venn diagram and 1 mark for the answer. So try that one out. With a 3-circle Venn, which this one is because it's cycle, bus, and walk, we have to make sure that we always start in the middle. The only time we can get away with not starting in the middle is if there are onlys, this and this or this but not, or sorry, this and this but not this, right? Those or onlys. So we have bus, which you might not do in the same order as me, cycle, and walk. So in the very middle is where we have to start, and there are 20 people who did all three, so I put 20 in here. So 20 did all three, but currently, before I even put any more numbers into this Venn diagram, 20 are riding the bus, 20 are walking, and 20 are cycling, correct? I already have 20 doing each of those things. They haven't been doing all of them as well, because they're super keeners on green transportation. But there are 20 in each of those, correct? The next place I have to go to is the eyeballs, which are the ands. So if I go here, 35 walk and cycle. So in the walk and cycle eyeball, I need to have 35 people. How many are already walking and cycling? 20. So how many are just walking and cycling only? 15. We have to make sure that we subtract, right? The only time we do not subtract is if it says only, right? Is if it says only. Now we need 80 in the walk and bus eyeball. 80 in the walk and bus. How many are already walking and bus riding? 20. So how many walk and bus only? 60. So we must subtract unless it says the word only, or if it said walk and bus but not cycle, then I would put 80 here, because that would be the same as saying only, correct? And then we need 100 to cycle and bus. We need 100 in here. How many are already cycling and busing? 20. So how many cycle and bus only? 80. Does everyone see how you have to subtract? We're reminding you. So tomorrow you're subtracting, right? If it's a 3-circle Venn and it doesn't say only, you are subtracting. Now, in the bus, I currently have people right now, before I even look at anything else, in the bus circle, I have 160 people riding bus currently, correct? And walking currently, I have 20, 60, 80, 95 people walking right now. Before even talking about anything else, I have 95. Then I have 115 currently cycling without any other information. I have people doing these things, correct? Yes, they're doing others, but they're still, that's how many people are cycling. So I have to go to my singles next. So I should have 370 people riding bus. So in the bus circle, I should have 370 people riding bus. Currently, I have 160. Currently, I have 160. So how many just ride bus? 210. Now, if that said 370 ride bus only, I would have 370 in the spot where I put 210, correct? But does it say bus only? No, it says bus. So I have to take into account there already are people on the bus. 160 are already riding bus. So that's 210 that ride bus only. Make sense? So now I can go to other singles if I have them, or I have to go, only thing I've left is ors. Now I need to pick the or that contains the full circle filled in already. So I could have walk or cycle, but if I do the walk or cycle snowman, I have 2 empty spots, correct? Which I can't have. If I do the cycle or bus snowman, then I'm only missing 1, which is good. So in the cycle or bus snowman, I have 370, 385. There's already 385 people cycling or busing, correct? If I add them all up, that's 385. I need 445. So if I have 385 already doing this, how many cycle only? 60. So I have to go 445 minus the 385 that are already doing it, correct? So unless it says only, you are subtracting. And then 265 walk or cycle. Now I can do this one. So in the walk or cycle, it's going to be this snowman. Should have picked a lighter color. I'm going to pick yellow. So in this snowman, I need to have 265 people. I currently have 100, 120, so 220, 235. And I need to have 265. So how many just walk only? 30. That is not going to work for writing. 30. Now what's the last thing I have to do? Remember I told you with Venn diagrams, you should have 8 numbers with 3 circle bends. With 2 circle bends, you should have 4 numbers. The outside, the middle, and then the one way on the outside, right? For the 3 circle bends, you should have 4 numbers filled in when you're done filling in a bend. On a 3 Venn diagram, you should have 8. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need the outside. How do I do that? Yeah. So I do 750 minus all these numbers. Did anyone do that? Get a number? What did you get? 275. We agree? And that's my answer. How many students did not use green transportation? 275. If I wanted to use it as a set notation, I would want everything outside of these. If I want this all shaded to be or, so I would want bus, or cycle, or walk, not. Because I would want everything outside of the ors. Does that make more sense for people? Getting clearer and clearer and clearer? Okay. I'm going to give you a solving one. And so this is number 4. It's going to be a solving. And then number 5 is going to be a 2-circle bend. So I want you to solve 10 equals 560 over x minus 2 minus 450 over x. So when you solve, what's your very first step? To get common denominators. So this one I'm going to have to multiply by x and x minus 2. The second one I'm going to have to multiply by x. The third one I'm going to have to multiply by x minus 2. So you're going to try that. And then I'm going to write the 2-circle Venn diagram question here. So I'm going to do that one below. So the question I gave you was 10 equals 560 x minus 2 minus 450 over x. So we're going to go multiply this one by x and x minus 2. This one by x, and this one by x minus 2. Now the catch with these ones when we have an x and x minus 2 is the 10 joins the x first. It makes it be 10x, and then we put that in. So you don't make the 10 go in twice. So we're going to go 10x, we're going to treat it like a 10x, and then we're going to take that and we're going to put that in. So I don't even do this. So I go 10x. So I get 10x times x, which is 10x squared. And then 10x times negative 2 is negative 20x over x minus 2 equals 560x over x minus 2 minus 450x plus 9 or minus 900. So we go minus, and then we go 450x, and then minus 450 times 2 is 900. And we put this side together, so we get 10x squared minus 20x over x minus 2 equals 560x minus 450x plus 900 over x minus 2. Now my NPDs before I drop this off are going to be x can't equal 0 or 2. And I have to watch, because at the end, if they did equal that, I would circle them and put a line through them and say extraneous, right? So now, once I have numerator equals, or denominator equals denominator, which I showed you with highlighting. So if I have denominator equals denominator, I can now say numerator equals numerator and drop my denominators off. So I'm going to get 10x squared minus 20x equals 560x minus 450x plus 900. So I'm going to get 10x squared minus 20x equals 560 minus 450 is 90x plus 900. And then remember, I have to get it all to one side. So I'm going to subtract 90x, subtract 900. So I get 10x squared minus 110x minus 900 equals 0. You can take a 10 out of these to make it smaller. If you don't take a 10 out, you can use it. It's totally fine. Either way is correct. Okay? I'm not going to take a 10 out because I assume most people won't. But if you did take a 10 out, you would just use your A would be 1, your B would be negative 11, your C would be negative 90. Okay? So I'm going to go A, B, C. Sometimes in the diploma, they just ask you for the quadratic equation. A, B, C, D. You just have to match this. They don't even make you solve it out. So you get to that point and you're done. Circle it, move on. Okay? That would be nice. But I'm going to keep going. So it's going to be x equals negative a negative b. So it's actually going to be 110 plus or minus negative 110 squared minus 4 times a, which is 10, times c, which is negative 900, all over 2 times 10, 2 times a. So x equals, that is in my head, 110 squared plus 4 times 10 times 900. So 110 plus or minus 48,100. Did you get a decimal? What's up? What did I do wrong? Help me.
560 minus 450.
110.
Yes, but I think you get 90.
I just realized it's 110. You guys let me go this long? Look at this. This is awful. I only caught it now because it gave me a decimal. Yeah, so why is it 90? Yeah, that's when you speak up there, Maya. You're not alone. There's a whole bunch of people not speaking up. Oh, so much work. God. I would have caught myself when that was a terrible answer. All right. So, negative. Oh, it changed colors on. Whatever. Negative 110. Positive 110. X plus 900. Yeah. You guys, you let me go that long. Don't feel bad about yourselves. That was a lot of work. That was wrong. 10x squared minus 130x. Now are we all at the same spot? What?
Minus 10. No, because the...
No, she's right. Well, no, I did it right. I just didn't write it right.
Oh.
She's right. This is minus 900. I subtracted it here and then somehow miraculously added it on that. It's a rough question, is what this is. This is A, B, C. That's a really big negative, just in case you don't know. X equals 130 plus or minus negative 130 squared minus 4 times 10 times negative 900. All over 2 times 10. What does that get? Okay. X equals 130 plus or minus the square root of 52,900, which is actually a perfect square, if you didn't know that. It doesn't really. I did not, but I was hoping it was because I didn't want that. And so then I get X equals 130 plus or minus 230, which is the square root of 52,902, and then it splits. So I get X equals 130 plus 230 divided by 2, and if you 20, holy dynamite. And if you didn't notice, I'm putting X equals in front of all of these. You guys, most of you drop it off. You can't drop it off. And then X equals 130 minus 230 divided by 20. T. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. So 360 divided by 20 is 180. 18. The zero can cancel. Come on, let's grab a mitt. These will cancel off. 36 divided by 2 is 18. And then this is going to be 130 minus 230, which is negative 100 divided by 20. These cancel, so negative 5. And what were our NPVs way back in yonder? 0 and 2. Okay. So I'm going to go X equals 18, comma negative 5. X can't equal 0 and 2. Boy, that was fun. Especially when no one commented when I put 90 instead of 110. Screwed the whole thing. I blame you, Reese. I gave Maya crap, but blame both of you. And Alexa. She had her hand up too. How long? Come on, Alexa. Good thing you had a mask on. That buffered what he said a tiny bit. All right. Let's go back to this question, which is not extensively ridiculous like this one. Woohoo! There we are. So in a group of 60 people, 40 people, so this is group, this is total. 40 people liked red, 20 people liked green, 5 liked neither. So I gave you total, each separately, and neither. Whenever I do that, you can get and, right? So I add up the 40 tickets of people who liked red, 20 tickets of people who liked green, 5 tickets of people who liked neither, which was 65 tickets total put into the box. But there's how many people? 60, so I subtract it, so there's 5 in both. If I go to do my Venn diagram, the marker just switched it. I have red, green, 5 in both, 5 who don't like any of them. How many like red only? What do I have to do? 35, because there's already that 5 that like red, right? I need 40 total to like red. This is 35. Why did I subtract? Why didn't I just write 40 there? Because it wasn't only. If it said 40 like red only, I'd go put a 40 in there, right? I don't subtract when it says only. And 20 like green, but 5 already like green, so this is 15 who like green. How many people like red only? 35. All right. What was that? 5. Okay, 6. Whoa, whoa, the scrolling. So much scrolling. Number 6. What if I give you this? A equals red, purple, green. A. Determine another set B where the intersection of A and B results in the empty set. B, determine a set C so that A is a subset of C. That's number 6. Number 7. So we're going to discuss number 6 here first. So if number 6, if A is the set red, purple, green, what does set B have to be so that the intersection, which is and, the intersection of A and B would result in the empty set? So what must B not contain? Yeah. Red, purple, and green. It could contain anything else. It could contain pig, puppy. It could contain blue. It could contain chartreuse. It could contain my name. It could contain whatever, as long as it does not contain red, purple, and green. So whatever you picked for B, just can't have red, purple, and green. I don't care what you pick, just can't have red, purple, and green. Okay? So my B that I'm going to make up is going to be B and squirrel. That just came into my head, so that is what I'm writing. And you're all probably like, yellow, brown, because you guys all stuck with colors, I'm sure. But I'm a rebel, and I went to a totally different system. Okay? So I'm going to say A intersection B results in the empty set. What are these two sets? What else can we say about them? They are what? Disjoint. A and B are disjoint because they have what? No elements in common. Okay. I need to make a set C so that A is a subset of C. That means everything in A has to be contained in C, correct? So so instead of B we said can't contain red, purple, and green, right? What must C contain? Red, purple, and green. Can it have more? Yep. So C, I'm going to have red, purple, green, and squirrel. If it has that, is A still a subset of C? Yeah, because it has red, purple, and green. Okay, you guys are going to try number 7. And then number 8 is going to be a 3-circle Venn. So working on number 7 while I write out number 8. So for number 8, you're going to fill in the 3 Venn, and then I'm going to ask you a question about it. So you're doing number 7, which is multiplication, then you're doing number 8, which is 3-circle Venn. Try them out. Okay, let's look through the first one. The first one is multiplication. When we have multiplication, we have to GCF difference of squares anywhere we can, right? So in the top, I can take out a 3. I have an equal sign. I can take out a 3, and I can take out an x. And I'm left with 3x minus 1. The bottom, I can take out a 21. And then I'm left with x minus, I can't remember. What does that get you? 5? 6. And then I can take a 14 out of the top. And then I think I get 6 minus x. And then in the bottom, I can take out a 2, and I'm left with 3x minus 1. Before I cancel anything off, I'm just stating NPVs for my denominator. So the 2's don't result, 2 and the 21 don't result in anything. X can't equal 6 because of the x minus 6. And then 1/3 because of the negative 3x minus 1. Okay. Now, most people will get to this point and then don't get the answer right in the end, which is just sad. So we don't want that to happen. So 3x minus 1, 3x minus 1, same thing, correct? X minus 6, positive 6 minus x, are they the same thing? They're very close, but they're not the same signs, right? The bottom is positive x minus 6, the top is positive 6 minus x. So I need to either make this be a negative 21 and change these signs, or make this be a negative 14 and change those signs. I'm going to choose to make it be a negative 14. then this will be a -6 and a positive x. Now I have -6, positive x. Now I have positive x, -6. And now they actually match. Do you see that? So now they can cross off. And then sometimes people will cancel more. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cancel the next step. So I go 3 times -14, which is -52, over 21 times 2, which is 42. And when I reduce them, if I divide it by 2, I get -26 over 21. Fourteen times 3, is that 52 or 42? 14 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, 42. Oh, they work out nicely. Look at that. So we get 42 over -42, which is actually -1, followed behind with x can't equal 6 or a third. Yeah. I have that. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm quitting, is what I'm doing. There is still an x on the top. All right. Then the 3-circle Venn, I gave you every single type I could possibly think of. Ones with onlys, ones with knots, ones with not onlys and knots, and just to see if you can do it. So you should be able to. So we're going to go through. And I have blue, green, red. And I always have to start in the middle unless there are onlys, which there are some onlys. But I'm going to start in the middle anyway. So 3 people like blue, green, and red. Boom, done. Now this is the catch. 3 people already like blue now, correct? 3 people already like green now, and 3 people already like red now. There are 3 people in each of those circles. 3 people, boom, boom, boom. Okay? Then I go to the ands. 2 people like green and blue. Okay, green and blue. 2 people, and then people call me over there like, Lepp, there's already 3 there. How the heck do I subtract that? 2 minus 3, that doesn't even work. What the heck are you doing? It's terrible math. Horrible question. What the heck's up with you? And then I'm like, read again. So we go back and we read again. 2 people like green and blue. Oh, there's the word only there. Dag nabbit, I skipped it. Silly me. So, it's green and blue only. When it's only, we don't subtract, correct? So we go to the green and blue. So you should just pray and hope that I give you a number that doesn't work to subtract. So if I give you a 2, you might be like, something's up. Okay? But if I give you a 5, oh my goodness, 5 minus 3, 2. You guys subtract. So I know if I make the number bigger, you guys will subtract it more often. If I make it smaller, you might catch yourself. Okay? So, when it says only, we do not subtract. Ah, trickery. I gave you another way of doing it without saying only, but it's only. 3 people like green and red, but not blue. What does that mean? Green and red only. So I go to my green and red only, and I put a 3. I don't subtract. This is just a fancy way of saying only. Now, the next one, I set you up for not putting an only here. So 5 people like blue and red. Does it say only? No. So that means I go to the blue and red eyeball. I need to have 5 people here. How many do I already have? 3. So I have to subtract, and it's a 2. When it doesn't have the word only, you have to remember to subtract. You see how you have to read thoroughly? Can't skip things? Okay. Then I can go to my circles. 26 people like blue. I'm going to make it blue. So in the blue circle, I should have 26. I already currently have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who like blue. I need to have 26 people who like blue. So how many like blue only? How many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to have 26. 26 minus 7 is 19. Thought I heard someone say 13. Okay. 10 people like red only. Oh, the word only. Faux shame. If it has the word only, I will not subtract, correct? So 10 people like red only. I go to my little red only spot and go put my little pen there. I don't go subtracting because it says only. The next one says 60 people like blue or green. Blue or green snowman. So I go to the blue or green snowman, and I need to have 60 in there. I currently have 19, 21, 24, 26, 29. I need to have 60. So how many like green only? 31. And then I have 2 on the outside. So I could ask you from here, how many like blue only? You would tell me 19. I could say, how many like green only? You'd tell me 31. If I said, how many people like blue and green? Blue and green. 5. And is the eyeball, right? We don't subtract. How many like red and green? 6. Then I could say, how many people did I survey? What do you have to do? Add them all up. So we know that this makes up 60. That's 72. Right? So I can ask any question after that. Do you see how if it says only, we don't what? Subtract. If it says this and this, but not this, that's only. So we don't subtract. If it doesn't have the word only, you better be subtracting. Okay? Very different. Do you see the difference between the two? It says only, don't subtract. If it doesn't say only, subtract. Work your way from inside out. We agree? All right. So, on your test, you will have non-permissible value questions. You have multiple choice numeric response and written. You're going to have non-permissible value questions. You're going to have simplifying a basic rational, then multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, solving, right? For the set theory, you're going to have 2 circle Venn diagrams, 3 circle Venn diagrams. Set theory, where I talk and ask you about disjoint, disjoint, or empty set, or intersection, or union, or subsets. All of those can come up, correct? Okay.